So, Victoria, what social action projects are happening in our midst currently?
Sure. So we are doing all of the current things that we've continued to run. So we have food bank on a Monday, community lunch on a Wednesday, Ukrainian supper on a Friday. What we have noticed recently with specifically food bank and community lunch, just increased numbers, people that are hungrier, clearly feeling the effects of the increasing fuel prices, the increasing cost of living. And so as a result of that, we've come up with some additional new projects that Gabby will be talking about in a minute. But those are our three main things that we are doing. So Monday's food banks, Wednesday community lunch, Friday Ukrainian supper. Oh, and the kitchen garden, which is over by the school allotment. The kitchen garden supplies us with a lot of the fruit and veg that we use for our lunch on a Wednesday. Any surplus things that we have, we give away to our guests, which they really appreciate, getting some fresh veg and fruits to take home with them.
If you're not familiar with the kitchen garden, just take a wander past the church field. It is a beautiful thing to behold. It's a bit like going to Kew, but vegetable-based. Gabby, what is coming up with social action this term? What do we need to know about?
Okay, well, actually starting next week, we've got a new initiative called Warm Spaces, which kind of is what it says. So we're opening up a Croydon Community Centre for a couple of days of the week and Brathway as well for a couple of days so that people can come, they can sit down, have a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, maybe a bowl of soup, and just be warm and read a paper, really do whatever they want. But just, it's primarily for the elderly and for the more vulnerable in our communities, but it's just to give people a place to go so that they're not cold at home. And then, as well as that, we have the return of Glassdoor. And it's really great news because for the first time in 3 years, we're actually going to have Glassdoor properly back in the church, and that's going to start from the 10th of December, which is slightly later than it usually is. But that'll be running through to the end of March, and you'll be hearing a lot more about that because we're going to need lots of volunteers to help us do that. For those of you who don't know, it's a partnership with a charity called Glassdoor, and we have 25 homeless people who come on a Saturday night to the church. We make them a 3-course meal, and then they sleep in the old foyer. Then we have breakfast, and then they leave. And that's every Saturday, and this year that includes Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve at St Michael's. That's the two immediate things, and then a little bit further in the future, we're going to be doing a life skills course with an organisation called CAP, which is Christians Against Poverty, but that's probably going to be in 2023.
So to summarise, there is a heck of a lot going on. Oh, there's more.
Oh, there's more, and I forgot. Victoria just reminded me, and we have what we always do at Christmas, which is the Christmas bundles. And for those, again, who don't know, that's when we provide bags of goodies so that everybody can make a proper Christmas dinner. So Christmas pudding, mince pies, all the vegetables, some money to buy some meat. And last year we did that for 150 families, which is about 650 individuals in the local area. So that will be coming very soon, well, in December.
This sounds like a lot of work. How can we help you practically first?
Practically by volunteering. We've got lots of volunteers already, but we really need some more people to step up, particularly with Glassdoor starting. So I just encourage you, come and talk to me and Victoria at the end. We'll be over there, and we can tell you a little bit more about it, or just come in, we can have a cup of coffee, talk to you about it, but there's lots and lots of different ways in which you can help.
And Victoria, how can we be praying effectively for the work of the social action team?
Sure. So I would say the starting point for prayer would always be for the guests that we are serving. So just praying that they would get the support that they need, that the Lord would deliver to them the support that they need, whether that be through changes within the rising fuel prices, rising cost of living. We're all praying for answers for that. But something within that towards the guests, and then for the project specifically, just prayerful that Gabby and I are able to be led with our whole team within the church staff to do what is needed within this community, and that we have the volunteers needed to do that. Our big prayer point at the moment for Gabby and I, which I think we pray for probably 10 times a day, is that we are currently recruiting for our team within the social action team. We're looking for an additional social action manager that can help us run these projects. So that is on the church website, that's on the download, but just be praying that the right person find their way to this church and then just help us do more wonderful things within this. So those are the big prayers that you can be praying for us.
Brilliant. I think these ladies deserve a very loud round of applause.